That was fucking awesome. That was Napalm Death with Polluted Minds off their 1987 debut album, Scum. Pretty awesome song. I haven't heard Napalm Death before, and this makes me want to hear more for sure. Like some pretty politically charged lyrics. That cover definitely reminds me of like a Dead Kennedys album cover, but with like Satan on it. Some sort of punk rock bat skeleton man that's supposed to be the devil, I'm sure, or evil. Hi, my name is Bean, and you're watching Battle of the Band. We're on day 55 of the Butthole Surfers tournament today, and if you're not sure what a Butthole Surfers tournament is, basically, we took every single song from the band, the Butthole Surfers, and we put them into a single elimination style tournament, and we make the songs go head to head until there's one song remaining one song remaining at the end, and that'll be our winner. Sorry if my voice is off. I've got a cold or something. So, first up in today's tournament, we have a song from 1987, which is why we were playing a 1987 album just then. It's called 100 Million People Dead. It actually was released in 2002 on the compilation album Humpty Dumpty LSD, but it had been recorded back in 1987 in a home 8-track, basically like a home studio on an 8-track, along with Space One. I think Space Two was the same sessions. All Day, Day of the Dying Alive, which would later go on to become Jimmy, that was also in the sessions. So they have a whole lot of longer freakout songs, basically. And that'll be going up against Alcohol off of their 1993 album, Independent Worm Saloon. Like last week, we got a lot of songs off of Independent Worm Saloon, so it's good to see it make another return. Looks like tomorrow we might actually have another one of their songs as well. Who knows? It's April Fool's tomorrow. The world could end, right? And then it'll not end, and it'll be like, April Fools! That's how April Fool's works, right? Alright, I remember Alcohol quite well. That song actually did have to earn its way in today. One of the few songs, there were only 10 songs in this round, that actually had to battle through a first round to get into the second round. Alcohol being one of them. I think we're getting close to the end of the buys, though. Yeah, there are 2 more buys left in the tournament. It looks like the tournament's getting close to halfway over. That's right, it'll be halfway over when we get done with this round. Maybe a little before. So, Whatever I Had a Dream off the Romeo and Juliet soundtrack is another one that had to work its way into this round. Along with Blind Man, which had to take down USSA. I can't remember that one at the moment, so that'll be fun when we come back around to it. That's what's fun. This takes so long sometimes you forget the songs. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with 100 Million People Dead. Okay, so that seemed a lot more like it was just them showcasing the Gibby-tronics devices that Gibby had built up for his vocal effects. Definitely a lot of that going on in that track. I mean, there's a cool guitar freak out going on, and the drums and the bass are just keeping the rhythm. They're not really doing much more than that. Um, Vocal effects were definitely the highlight of the song, and you heard a lot of cool things in there. Actually, like for the last minute and a half. I know they have to be using some of the same stuff as the Mars Volta because there's just two similar sounds in there. There has to be some sort of similar piece of equipment or setup in there. Or maybe it's independently evolved like an eyeball and certain different types of creatures. Unless you don't believe in evolution, then I don't know what to tell you. Um but yeah. Just a really cool song. And oh, you also heard some of that high pitched voice that you heard in Jimmy. So it makes sense that they were playing around with another song at the same time called Day of the Dying Alive that would later become Jimmy. Because they were playing around with that new vocal effect. Pretty sure it was new there. It might have been on some older albums. It's probably on some older albums. What am I saying? Uh, Next up is Alcohol off of Independent Worm Saloon from 1993. And his name is Alcohol. That song's awesome. That took basically every little bit of freak out that 100 million people dead has, compressed that into the about a minute and a half that needed for the the chorus portions, the part where he's yelling alcohol, it's a son of a bitch. And then they wrap up that freak out into a little verse that actually works really well, and makes sense. It's not, the verse isn't too loud to listen to. So somebody who has more of a, you know, a pop mentality could listen to this song just fine, as long as they had a certain tolerance for metal and noise at the same time. It's definitely leaning more towards a song-based structure for Butthole Surfers here, but maintaining the amount of freak out that I love. Like, that was always one of my favorite things, that they had like songs that sounded, I guess, a little more accessible, but they were noisy. Unless you're listening to something like Humpty Dumpty LSD, which was one of the last things I listened to from Butthole Surfers. And at the time, I wasn't into a lot of that album, actually, and maybe that's why I never went to look after their 80s stuff. It was just too early for me. That said, though, 100 Million People Dead is a pretty cool jam out session. Definitely a little longer than I like to listen to for just like hanging out and listening to a few songs with some friends or something like that, you know. And plus, it's there are no proper lyrics. He just keeps saying 100 million people dead and playing with his voice box, which is super cool sounding, but it's not winning a tournament. I'm going to give that one to Alcohol. I'm going to give that one to Alcohol. I just feel like it's a much better song overall, as far as like something that that you can just put on, listen to, and sing along to. Even you could sing along to that song, even though it's so noisy. And I like that about that. Hope you guys had fun hanging out and listening to Butthole Surfers today. Sorry I'm a little lower energy right now. I actually shot this entire video yesterday, and I didn't have the microphone on. I was pretty high on edibles, so that's probably why. Do I have the microphone on today? I sure hope so. We're going to check it before we go into the next video, though, that's for sure. I've got social media if you want to hit us up on that. We've got Instagram, we've got Twitter, and we've got Facebook. On Instagram and Twitter, we actually have a polling system, so you can vote which of these two songs you thought was the better song on our social media, and then we will let you know the next day who won for the day for the viewers, the listeners. I do link the songs down below as well, so if you want to listen to if you want to listen to Alcohol or 100 Million People Dead on your own, feel free to. I will also link that Polluted Minds from Napalm Death down there, and I am gonna listen to some more of that album myself, and I guess I recommend you guys do too if you're into anything remotely resembling grindcore. Let's go ahead and end the video with another song from Napalm Death, though. Because I have a lot of really short ones. I could just end it with something super short. Now, one thing I was reading is that the first half of this album is one set of musicians, and the other half is another set of musicians with only one guy in common between the two. So let's try something from later on in the album. We'll check out Parasites in a minute. Anyway, like the video if you like this video. Subscribe if you like this kind of content and you'd like to see more of it. That'll tell you when new stuff is coming up. I've started playing around with doing premieres for my videos, so it will tell you as soon as I post the video that there's a video premiering. And every day it's 2:00 p.m. for Butthole Surfers, 2:15 for the Beatles, and that's Alaskan time because that's where I'm living. So Pacific time would be an hour earlier than that. Oh no, it would be an hour later than that. Pacific time would be an hour later than that. So you'd have 3:00 and 3:15 for Pacific time, and then I think for Eastern time that equates to 6 and 6:15 p.m. So they're up at the same time every day, barring some sort of weird circumstance like yesterday where I recorded without sound. These ones might be up a little late. We'll see. Share the content if you want to share it with your friends. They should hear about this this cool tournament too, I think. I don't know. I've been getting a lot of good feedback on the tournament idea, and we always thought it was a fun idea. That's why we're still doing it 3 years later. Like, we being my buddies Cam and Pat. Also, oh yeah, comment down below what you would have picked out of these two songs. Let me know which which one of them you would have moved on in your personal tournament. I don't think there's too much, competition with alcohol, but there's a lot of fans out there of their longer freak out stuff, and that's what they want to hear. Um, for me, I'm definitely a '90s Butthole Surfers kid. Really appreciating a lot of this '80s stuff though. That's all the Butthole Surfers content I have for today. We have a Cash App. You could check that out if you'd like to. No pressure there. We just could use some extra money, We're trying to get by just like everybody else is. But I'll keep putting out videos whether that Cash App gets any money or not. Don't worry about that. That's just if you see this and you want to help. Um, let's go ahead and play track 20, Parasites, off of Napalm Death to end the video. Hope you all have a great night, fantastic afternoon, and a wonderful morning. I'll see y'all in just a little bit for the Beatles. I love how someone has told me my voice sounds soothing, and then I go ahead and play some Napalm Death just to make sure you're awake.